little bit tired there?
I did not. I didn't.
Hubert, why did you go to just a 6-man rotation in the second half?
Because that was my decision.
I don't see a reason why Hubert Davis shouldn't be fired at UNC after this loss to VCU. Not only is it an embarrassing loss, and this is the 6th largest comeback in NCAA history by VCU, and congrats to them. Let's not take that away from them. This is a great victory for them. But this game should not have been lost, and the lead should not have been blown. And it's the fact that Hubert Davis is at a blue blood program. He has over 100 wins as a Final Four appearance. We understand he's done a lot of great things at UNC. The problem is, for a school like this, the goal is to win a championship. Period. And at worst case, is to get multiple players in the top 10 in the NBA draft, like Kentucky did with John Calipari for years. If you're not going to win the title, you have to have multiple 5-star players coming in, blue bloods, that make it to the NBA. So your program is like, okay, this program churns out top level NBA players. And right now, UNC doesn't have that. Caleb Wilson will be a top 5 pick, and that will be great on Hubert Davis. But it's sad that he hasn't had more Caleb Wilson type prospects that have gone to do bigger things in the NBA.
And there's been a lot of turmoil going around the Raleigh-Durham area with that of UNC being upset by VCU. So Hubert Davis is on the hot seat right now with a 82-78 loss to VCU in overtime. VCU was an 11 seed.
Yes. I mean, but to be fair,
yes,
one of their star players, which he is a top 3 pick, he's been hurt, you know what I'm saying? So their top 3 a lottery pick, he broke his hand, so short.
I mean,
they still were up by what?
Yeah, I'll get you
30.
He should have. I mean, he should have kept. He should have kept. Running them in the dirt. He played it safe.
Coaching,
took his foot off the gas.
North Carolina fans have officially seen enough. For the 3rd time in 5 years, North Carolina has either lost in the first round or missed the NCAA tournament entirely. But this year, it came at the expense of a 19-point blown lead to VCU. And now everybody is talking, and the popular narrative right now is that Hubert Davis's time at UNC may be coming to a close.
This is March Madness for a reason. They ain't naming March Madness for no reason.
The thing with Hubert is this. Hubert did this year. He does have the win over Duke. He has that to his credit.
Yes.
This what was it, a second round?
They did go undefeated at home too.
Was it? They got put out in what round?
First
in the
round.
ACC tournament? Not this tournament. Not the NCAA. They got put out in what round? They got put out early in the ACC tournament. The problem with Carolina, to me, is this. They're not recruiting. They're not bringing in the recruits like
NIL,
that.
Nobody wants to play for. They got to pay for the players.
Nobody wants to play for Buddy. The last Carolina recruit that was really heralded like that was Harrison Barnes.
Really?
Harrison Barnes.
I get Kobe. Just running it down. Carolina has not given you the athletes that they have before.
Because you can't hang on that laurel.
The Rasheed Wallaces. They haven't given you the stats.
You got to pay to play.
But you're supposed to be. Those are the
You
type
gotta
of
pay to
athletes
play.
that they're expecting you to
It's
bring
a different
here.
times now. People are shelling out that money. You want the top recruits to come to Carolina. That people not saying, "Oh yeah, go to Carolina." You think Boozer and them going out? The difference with Duke had.
Was getting,
Yeah, you did. I was about to say,
Duke was getting the boosters off top.
I mean, but
that was a given.
Of course, but his dad went there. Most of the Duke players, kids, play for him. And outside of that, do you think them top recruits that go to Duke, they ain't getting no money? They get money.
I'm sure they are.
I don't think it's a money thing. I think it's Hubert Davis.
No, it's a money thing. They have not.
Chapel Hill got
keep
the bag.
screaming
Yeah,
money,
but they're not
but
paying it though.
You keep screaming
They're
money,
not paying
but
it.
this is one of the most elite names in college basketball. Yeah, money is a good thing, but also coming out of North Carolina basketball still holds some. That's like
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about that
anymore.
when somebody about to throw $1 million at you. You gonna go where that bread at? That's the name of the game now in college sports.
I think I'd fire him. He's a family hire. North Carolina is a family type program that, like, everyone that's been the head coach there since Dean Smith has been directly tied to Dean Smith, directly tied to the program. One, if you fire him, are you alienating the Roy Williams sector of North Carolina, like the behind the scenes power at North Carolina? And then number two, if you fire Hubert Davis, who are you hiring?
Do you think Hubert deserves to get fired.
He wouldn't have caught the plane back.
Well, again,
He would have been
They
left.
blew a 19.
Yeah, he would have been left
lead.
to South Carolina.
Yeah, but then you can
deserve
also,
to
but
get
you can also,
fired. Yeah, he's
you can
close.
also hang your hat on. Yeah, they blew a 19-point lead. That's bad. But you also have your top 3 player that's not playing either. He ain't played. He didn't play since the Duke
get
game.
fired.
No, I don't think so because they didn't really spend no money to construct a basketball team. So I think you give him another year. You give him another year. Y'all put some money behind some players. See what he do then. Now, if he can't produce, and you got some players that y'all pay bread to, then yeah. But from where he's working with, he's been doing it the traditional way. That school has not paid no money for none of them players. No NIL money. He did all right.
Well, basically, there's talk of buying out Hubert Davis's contract. He signed through June 30th of 2030. So if they decide to buy him out, they would owe him $5.3 million
They'll pay
if he
that.
were fired on April 1st.
Yeah, but who you gonna bring in though? That's the point.
Stack.
Brad Stevens.
Stack.
They're
They were
not
talking about Stackhouse.
Stackhouse.
Stack.
I don't know. Hubert Davis has really done a fantastic job. 125-54 in 5 seasons. He coached Caleb Wilson this year, brought him into Chapel Hill. He's going to be a top 5 pick. Honestly, he's a great coach. I don't know if you do any better than Hubert Davis. Given the fact that this team has been a round of 64 exit last year and this season makes it a little bit of a problem, I feel like. So I don't know. Could the grass get any greener with Hubert Davis as the head coach, or is it time to move on?
If you bring a coach in, you're bringing in Stack. That's the only acceptable pick that I think that people would accept is Stackhouse because of who he is and what he means to Carolina.
Yeah.
Brad Stevens.
Brad
Stevens.
There's discussion of bringing
Brad Stevens is the
in.
key.
But he's not coming though.
Brad
not?
Stevens
Why wouldn't he?
with the
Why
Boston
wouldn't
Celtics. Brad Stevens.
Yeah, why wouldn't he?
Why would he?
Why wouldn't he?
Unless Carolina's gonna match that Boston Celtics money, why would he?
You think
We
that
talking about Chapel Hill, Duke? The bag is there.
You think that Boston is going to let Brad
He's
Stevens
not.
go?
No, he's not leaving that.
I don't think
he got a plush
He doesn't
job.
have anything else to do. He doesn't have anything else to prove in
What
the
you
league.
mean? He got a plush
He's got a
job.
championship. He's drafted 2 of the best players in the last 10, 15 years.
So why would he leave that to go to Carolina?
Because there's nothing else to do.
That bread has to match what he making at Boston,
Yeah, that'd be
if
something.
not a little bit more.
That's right.
I don't think Hubert deserves to be fired. I know he hasn't had
Give
the
the man a
greatest.
chance.
I know he hasn't had the greatest run, but like Hassan kept saying, Caleb Wills was hurt.
Yeah, he was
He
hurt.
was hurt, and that was a big part of who the Tar Heels
Yeah,
were. this
exactly.
year. They not saying because they still might have lost, but when your best player is hurt,
He was hurt since the Duke game.
you have to give some type of grace. Now, having a 19-point lead and giving that up,
I don't believe that Carolina will fire Hubert Davis for a number of reasons. One of the biggest being he was Roy Williams' essentially handpicked successor, played for Dean Smith. Has it been great? No. Has it been a catastrophe? No. But Carolina now finds itself as a program, as a fan base, looking around being like, what the hell? We're North Carolina. Why do we find ourselves as a men's basketball program in this kind of spot when we shouldn't be?
There was a crowd that was out on him from the beginning. Like from the moment he was picked. He's been fighting against it the entire way.
and what really, really killed Carolina fans was watching Duke about to be upset,
And
and
escape.
Duke came back and won.
They blew out. They going to Sweet 16. They blew out.
Oh, they beat
We're going to get us a natty, man.
Whatchamacallit down tonight. But we're going to see what happens with Carolina. I expect to have an answer with Hubert
Within a few
relatively.
weeks. Not too long
probably
after the season over.
I believe after the tournament
After
to have
you'll
a
know.
decision about Hubert. By that time, everything will calm down and people can think rationally because, like I say, here in Carolina, they always fire. Duke coach too. They fire Shire if Duke don't win.
Yeah, but
if
you
Duke
know,
don't win it all, they'll be talking about
yeah,
firing
but
Shire.
Duke only had in my lifetime, in our lifetime, they only had 2 coaches for a reason. That is Krzyzewski and Shire. And so far, Shire's cooking.
Shire is definitely cooking,
They
but
cooking.
they're expecting Duke to hang up a banner this year.
We'll see.